Half of these summer season games, you tend to get a little bit of the sun in your eyes if it's a nice evening like it is, but we don't have any complaints. It's the kind of weather you want to be playing a game of football in.
Colm Horgan knocks the ball back to goalkeeper Ed McGinty. Ed McGinty sends it out to his left. It's gone now to Carl O'Sullivan, and it's back with Colm Horgan. Horgan finds Paddy Kirk, and it's back up the left hand side now for Sligo Rovers, and running onto it is Will Fitzgerald. Will Fitzgerald jockeying with Eric Yorrow there. Will Fitzgerald, Yorrow wins the possession back. Well done there, youngster. And Keeney tries to tidy up against his former club. Bounces back in favour of Sligo Rovers, and Paddy Kirk there won a throw-in for Sligo Rovers just at the steps where the players come down onto the pitch. Aidan Keena, who's been in prolific scoring form in recent months, cleared by Sam Todd, and that'll be another throw to Sligo Rovers according to the referee, and it'll be about 15 yards north of the corner flag.
Yeah, Todd had to be alert there, because if he'd stuck the boot in, we could have another penalty going against UCD with sort of 60 seconds on the clock, but he did well in that instance.
Well, if this season's going to go by, the challenges don't even have to be in the penalty area for a penalty to be awarded against UCD. So anyway, that's another day's work. And Dara Keane has lost possession, and Sligo continue their attack. But Paddy Kirk has lost possession, and it's gone out for a throw-in to UCD. And Michael Gallagher will lift the siege there for the students.
Don't forget, if you're watching at home, you can get the UCD match programme for tonight's game at ucdfc.ie/programme, and there's various interviews that Declan has conducted in that piece, but you can get it online, as I say, if you're watching at home. And
there's a very interesting piece about when UCD reached the semi-finals of the Leinster Senior Cup in the 1930s, written by editor and fellow historian of the club, Kevin Burke. And there's, of course, a very interesting interview with a man who played for UCD, Sligo Rovers, Shamrock Rovers, and indeed Dundalk, our last three opponents here in the Bowl. And this issue of the programme covers all three. And he also played for UCD, namely goalkeeper Alan O'Neill. And Ed McGinty there has been taken a knock, challenged for the ball by, I believe, Evan Caffrey. And no, it's not. It's Dylan Duffy. And the referee wants a word with Dylan Duffy. And Ed is back on his feet, so he won't be requiring the assistance of a physiotherapist, but he was a bit winded by that challenge.
Yeah, you can see it here on the replay, Declan. The high ball, the two of them going in to challenge for it. McGinty obviously not happy with what happened, and his hat went flying off.
Ironically, his hat went flying off while he was in the shade of the trees. Sligo now try to get back into it. There was a good block there by...
I think it was Dara Keane.
It was Dara Keane, yes. Throw into Sligo Rovers, taken by Horgan. Ball's back with Niall Morahan, sending it over to the left, where Kirk has headed it on into the path of Greg Bulger, and it's been cleared to touch. There'll be a throw in to Sligo Rovers over by the steps where the players come onto the field.
Yeah, excellent play there by Evan Caffrey. He read that really, really well. Just got in, used a little bit of pace and cleared it out.
Now it's with Adam McDonnell. Cross comes in, cut out by Yorrow. Clearance completed by Gallagher, but it's back in again, headed back in and headed back out. Bulger sends it goalward. Keane completes the clearance, and it's back with Bulger again, who's captaining Sligo Rovers tonight. Horgan, back to Bulger. Todd clears for UCD, finds Keane, finds Keeney, finds Duffy. And Sligo regained it again in the form of Will Fitzgerald.
Yeah, nice idea. It was a little laid off pass for Caffrey, but it didn't quite work out, as you say. Fitzgerald just got in ahead of him.
Carl O'Sullivan has lost possession to Liam Kerrigan. Liam Kerrigan, the former Sligo Rover for UCD. Oh, nice bit of play there. And Evan Ozam tried to recoup the ball, but it's back with Sligo again. Keena, back with Horgan. Horgan sends it towards the goal, and Sam Todd will clear it to touch. I think his goalkeeper wanted to get the ball back. but it'll be a throw in to the students just in front of their own dugout.
Yeah, I suppose by not picking up the ball there, it just invites a lot more pressure on UCD again, rather than just taking a bit of the sting out of the Sligo attack here. But I suppose the amount of time it's taken for them to find a football to resume the game maybe has possibly taken the sting out instead.
Now Colm Horgan with the throw in for the Bit of Red. Back with Horgan again. And he's looking for O'Sullivan, but it was cleared. Buckley now starts things afoot again for Sligo, but the ball came up towards our colleagues in the television gantry, and it's a throw in to UCD to be taken by Evan Ozam. Evan Ozam, the relative veteran on the team now at 24 years of age. And the ball has gone out of play in front of their own dugout, and it'll be a throw in to UCD for Evan Ozam.
Yeah, Niall Moorhan, the guilty party there. Just a bit of a loose first touch, and it gives UCD I suppose a platform to attack here down the left.
The ball is with Dylan Duffy, and there was a altercation there and a foul. Liam Kerrigan was felled. I think 3 doctors would have been proud of that, and it'll be a free to UCD just outside the Sligo Rovers area, maybe about 10 yards outside it to the left as we look at it.
So we've Kerrigan and Dignam standing over this. So Kerrigan with the right boot, Dignam with the left. It'll be interesting to see who swings it in. It's looking like Dignam, who's going to swing one away from the goalkeeper potentially.
And there are some height from up from the back.
And it's Kerrigan instead in at the penalty spot. It's a good ball. Underneath it is Caffrey, but Sligo with an attempted clearance down the left hand side through Adam McDonnell.
And Evan Ozam will gather this for UCD and clears his lines, and he deflects it off the attacking Sligo Rover, and it'll be a throw in, and of course Carl O'Sullivan, and it'll be a throw in to the students halfway between their own bench and the fourth official's box. Another throw in to UCD. Are we likely to see a world record for throw-ins forced in a single game tonight, do you reckon, Peter?
Certainly making good pace. What's in the clock? 7 minutes. We've had a number of throw-ins, yeah, so game really hasn't settled down though, Declan. It's still fairly scrappy so far.
And it's O'Sullivan almost got on the end of that, but Todd cleared his lines looking for Duffy, and that's headed out towards Bulger.
Keane did well.
Keane did well to keep it in. Todd heads clear. Keeney completes the clearance, but only as far as McDonnell. Keeney again, another ex-Sligo Rover. Greg Bulger, the only ex-student on the field for the Bit of Red tonight. Carl O'Sullivan now for the Sligo Rovers, and has gone out for a throw-in a little bit further down to our right.
Yeah, Sam Todd getting across there with the cover and putting the ball out for the throw-in, as you say, Declan, which will be taken by Colm Horgan.
8 minutes gone here at the Bowl. It's still UCD 0, Sligo Rovers 0. Horgan with the throw-in. Back to Horgan again. Back to Bulger. Bulger sends a ball in towards goal. Yarrow heads it clear, but not very clear. Back with Sligo Rovers again, but UCD managed to get the ball out from under their feet and into the Sligo Rovers half, where it finds Gary Buckley. Buckley sends it long, and Michael Gallagher reads that like a trashy novel and has cleared his lines, but only as far as McDonnell. But McDonnell is beaten to it by Caffrey, and Caffrey will send Dignam down the right, but that was well read by Shane Blaney, and it's found Bulger now. Back out here on the right to Colm Horgan. Horgan sends it long into the right wing channel, inch perfectly to nobody in particular, and it'll go over the end line for a throw-in.
Yeah, UCD deploying the press there. Good pressure from, you could see Kerrigan and Duffy putting the push on, and it forced that, as you say, Declan, that fairly rushed clearance, and it's going to be another throw-in for UCD inside their own half. We do have the goal that we don't want to hear about, I'm afraid. Finn Harps have taken the lead away to Derry City. Mihailovic with the goal on 8 minutes, and they're one up at the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium.
I predicted he was going to score eventually, and he has. I think it's his second or third of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's another throw in for UCD, which Kerrigan cheekily tries to take a good maybe 5 metres further up the park when the ball went out. So it's going to be Evan Ozam to take this throw in, just in front of our commentary position here at the ball. Yeah,
land grabbing hasn't been popular in this country since the days of the Land League.
Yeah, indeed.
Evan Ozam with the throw in. Looking for Dylan Duffy, but it's headed clear by Gary Buckley. Ozam sends it back towards Buckley again, And Duffy manages to win possession, manages to get past the challenge of Gary Buckley, and wins a free kick.
Yeah, Gary Buckley was fairly much going in for the old rugby tackle this season. The rugby season is over here at the UCD Bowl. The advantage was played and UCD got no advantage, so it is going to be a free kick. You can see it here in the replay.
And it's a long way from Markovich Park, the home of the Sligo GAA team.
Yeah.
Agricultural challenge at the best of times.
I mean, he wasn't looking at the ball. He had his hand up over Dylan Duffy. I'm not sure. John Russell wasn't impressed with it, but I'm not really sure how he can have many complaints on that one. Either way, it's going to be Kerrigan to whip in this ball.
Kerrigan's free to the far post, misses everybody, and it'll be a goal kick to Ed McGinty and Sligo Rovers.
Yeah, unfortunate. Not the first time that has happened, that the ball's gone straight in over the top and out for a goal kick. But yeah, I suppose it's just something that they're going to have to keep working on.
Ed McGinty, who's a colleague of Liam Kerrigan in the Republic of Ireland under-21 squad, or at least he was for a while. And it's now with MacDonald. MacDonald sends it out to Kirk. Cross comes in, cut out by Todd, and headed down by Shane Blaney as far as Will Fitzgerald, and back with Blaney and back with Buckley. Buckley has Horgan to his right, but he sees O'Sullivan deeper into enemy territory, and O'Sullivan loses possession to Liam Kerrigan. Kerrigan was obstructed there by Colm Horgan. That would be a free to the students. It seems that the ex-Sligo Rovers being targeted by Sligo Rovers for some harsh treatment.
Yeah, well, look, he's a player who likes to get stuck in and try things, and that always means you're going to get a little bit of attention from the opposition. But you can see it here again in the replay. Put the ball past the player.
It was a sandwich, really, wasn't it?
A bit of an old Sligo sandwich there, yeah.
Yeah, and no mayonnaise.
I won't ask you to explain what that means, Declan, but it is going to be a free kick, which Mark Dignam and Liam Kerrigan once again standing over.
I mean, dry sandwiches aren't very nice, that's all I'm saying. Mark Dignam now with the free kick, almost in his own half at this stage. Diggin's free. Cross to the far post. Met in the air by Dara Keane. And Duffy's gone looking for it and has managed to keep it in play. Well done, Dylan Duffy.
Yeah, under pressure from MacDonald, he gets the ball back across to Keane. Nice touch, chance for Keane, still has it. Oh, but that's good defending from Sligo. And eventually, I think it was Greg Bulger who completed the clearance there for the visitors, but only as far as Keane in the middle. And
Keane finds Dignam. Dignam finds Ozam, and Ozam finds Todd, who finds Yoro, and Eric Yoro now with the ball for UCD, looking for Kerrigan. But unfortunately, Liam Kerrigan is not the Mae West at Usain Bolt impersonations, and therefore it goes out of play for a throw-in to Sligo.
Yeah, nice idea. Just, as you say, a little bit too much air on it, so the ball goes out for this throw-in, but it's still deep in Sligo territory, so again, if UCD keep tight on this, they can potentially get it back.
Greg Bulger, something of an elder statesman in Sligo Rovers this season.
Gallagher now plays it forward. Keane gets a touch. Can Keane get there?
Keane is fouled, and it'll be a free to UCD. The miscreant involved was Niall Morhan. So there are no new members of the Carton Jaune cycling club so far tonight.
Yeah. Willie O'Connor, the UCD assistant manager, asking fourth official Derek Tomley if that was a promising attack, but he wasn't convinced. So either way, it's just going to be a free, and as you say, Declan, no cards handed out. Dignam now to chip this one over the top. Once again, really poor free kick. I'm not exactly sure what the thinking is there, but just far too much air in it, and it's such a good opportunity. They need to really be doing a lot better.
And no trouble whatsoever to Ed McGinty. He could have gathered that in his sleep.
Yep, indeed. It's just frustrating to watch.
Now the ball is sent across the field, and it's gathered by Buckley, who sends it back to McGinty. McGinty will send it long, looking for Keena. He's beaten in the air to it by Sam Todd, and Eric Yoro will complete the clearance. Excuse me, but only as far as Greg Bulger. Headed out again, and nice piece of work there by Dylan Duffy. Liam Kerrigan and he's lost possession.
Yeah, good play by Colm Horgan there to get the boot in and clip the ball cleanly.
Yeah, Evan Caffrey and Dylan Duffy is looking like a strong physical pairing up front, and they're not taking any prisoners, bless them.
No, certainly not. You'd be interested to see if you could land across somewhere close to them, what they might be able to do in terms of getting up and winning a header in the box.
Now that's Michael Gallagher's under that one. Michael Gallagher, of course, he previously played for Finn Harps, one of 2 ex-Finn Harps in the team today for the students. The other one being, of course, Sam Todd, who chalked up over 100 league appearances in the colours of Naclarshig.
Keane, and that's fairly clear push in the back there, I would have thought, from Niall Moran.
Yeah. And the referee's awarded a free throw in to Sligo Rovers, and no free there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that to me was as obvious a free as you're going to see. It was clearly in the back. You cannot push in the back like that, but sure, either way, UCD not getting any favours from officialdom tonight.
And the assistant manager is being remonstrated with by the 4th official, and I think the assistant manager is making a perfectly reasonable point. I might say that, might I, but nevertheless, it seems to be the colour of the conversation these days.
Caffrey now in the middle, ball over the top for Kerrigan to chase in, and it's hit 2 Sligo defenders and broken for Kerrigan. An opportunity, what can he do from here? He's tackled outside the box by the goalkeeper.
That has got to be a free. That has got to be a free. In fact, was he not the last man back?
Well, the question has to be asked there. I'm sure we'll see it in the replay in a couple of minutes' time, but that is... did he get the ball? I suppose maybe we'll see it in the replay. On first view, it didn't look like he did, but either way, we play on and Sligo attacking at the other end in a promising position for them. Bulger plays it through, but it's Yarrow with the clearance out to the right hand side, and hopefully we might get to see a replay of that in a moment or two, because a mix up in the Sligo Rovers defence allowed Kerrigan in, but he was dealt with by Ed McGinty, and here it is. Here's Kerrigan running through.
How is this not a free? How is this not a penalty? How is this not a free in a sending up? Well, he wasn't the last man back, but how is this not a free? And he should have been yellow carded at the very least for that. That's unbelievable.
So 17 minutes on the clock in this SSE Electricity Premier Division clash between UCD and Sligo Rovers. Still 0-0, but plenty of talking points so far, Declan.
Absolutely, and it's officialdom isn't improving its record at this venue, unfortunately.
Now, hard to know what's going on here. A little bit of conversation between referee David Dunn and his 4th official Derek Tomney, but either way we're going to play on.
In the immortal words of, I think it was Tina Turner, this has been a ball of confusion this last couple of minutes. And it ended up being a throw in to Sligo Rovers in front of the main stand, but UCD have come away in the form of Sam Todd, who knocks it back to Cian Moore. Cian Moore, the former Bohemian goalkeeper, sends it long into the path of Sligo Rovers defender, and he came back from an offside position, so he did, and it'll be a free to UCD.
Yeah, Niall Moran, the guilty party there for Sligo, and it's a chance maybe just to slow things down a bit for UCD. Todd standing over this free kick. He's got Oslam to his left hand side, or our left hand side.
I mean, how many years are we teaching geography in this country? You know, people are not going to stay on side, you know.
Now Todd out to the left hand side, or to the right hand side even, stage left we'll call it. Mark Dignam underneath that, but he couldn't control it, and it is going to be a throw in for Sligo on halfway.
And the referee insistent that he goes back as far as the advertisement for another code of rugby, namely the sponsor of that, and that's where the throw-in should be taken from. Yarrow now is going to keep an eye on this, and he's going to find touch just in front of another sponsor's advertiser, but this one for the League of Ireland.
It was Aidan Keena who was putting him under pressure there, but Yarrow did well, and that ball forward is actually headed out by Keena, and now it's going to be a throw for UCD. That is the area of the Belfield Bowl, for anyone who's been here before, where the away support is. You can see a couple of the banners up on the back wall there, but not a huge travelling Sligo support
no,
tonight,
and indeed even their own Dublin-based support hasn't come out in great numbers tonight. One wonders why.
Yes, that ball is thrown in, and Dignam gets the header on. Underneath it is Duffy. Duffy's battling there with Shane Blaney, and it's going to be a free for Sligo.
Is that for offside? Or a foul?
I think that was for a foul.
Okay. Foul, I could possibly understand, but there's no way he was offside. And that ball has gone out of play, and it will be a throw in to UCD between the Sligo Rovers bench and the fourth official's box. And that was a nasty challenge on McDonald. I thought it was a nasty challenge by McDonald as well, but he's the one that won the free.
Yeah, it was Jack Keeney who got in there and just, I suppose again, it's something we've talked about regularly on commentary, Declan, is UCD have throws and there aren't players making runs, and it's crazy really. If you've got a throw in, you should be able to win possession from it, particularly if it's not maybe necessarily immediately down at the opposition's goal. But I know you can see Andy frustrated in the sideline there. It's just something that they'll have to drill into the players a bit more, that you need to be winning your own throw-ins. But anyway, we continue.
But opportunities for possession are smaller in this division for a club like UCD, and you can't be affording to waste them, like those poor free kicks and those losing possession and throw-ins. That's the kind of thing that kills you at this stage of the season.
Yeah, no, absolutely it does. Ball over the top, it's a nice ball in, and of course we saw Rovers nearly scoring a goal in that manner. Bulger with the ball over the top, nice idea, but didn't quite work out. Now I can tell you there's another goal in another couple of goals I can tell you about in the Premier Division of the SSE Electricity League. Richie Towell has given leaders Shamrock Rovers the lead
at Shelbourne.
Home to Shelbourne. That game out in Tala, Shelbourne the visitors, and I can tell you that Derry City have equalised against Finn Harps at the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium, a goal that we welcome here in South Dublin, it must be said.
Indeed.
I'm not sure the goal scorer, but I will get it to you as soon as I can.
And we'll be hoping that they will add to that tally.
Now Evan Ozam in possession on the halfway line. He's got a little bit of space in front of him. Chips one forward for Keane to chase. It's a decent ball. Keane has got Kerrigan behind him. But he elects to go left, but that's some good defending from Sligo there in the far corner. It's a little bit scrappy, but Sligo are going to come away with it. And the ball is cleared up the line. Keane has a touch. Plays it back into that corner, and Sligo putting themselves under undue pressure here in their own half. And eventually it's Buckley who makes a partial clearance and then up the line here as far as O'Sullivan. But it's a good play from UCD. Kerrigan wins it back, and he is fouled, and it's going to be a free kick for UCD. Plenty of fouls in this game, Declan, and I suppose if the referee's making note of each of those fouls, you're eventually going to see cards getting handed out, you would think.
Indeed, and Captain Jack Keeney having a word with the referee as well. I understand his frustration, but I don't know if that's going to do the club any favours going forward with the referee concerned, but we'll see.
Either way, it's another free kick. We've had maybe 3 or 4 on this left-hand side. Declan with Kerrigan and Dignam standing over it. So will it be Kerrigan to whip it in this time? It will be. That's a much better cross than the last one. But it's still well defended this time by Keena.
And it's headed to Will Fitzgerald, who is challenged by Gallagher and finds touch. No, the ball has already gone out of play, according to the linesman, and it'll be a throw into UCD deep in the Sligo half. And Michael Gallagher looks like he's going to take it.
Yeah, a bit of movement from UCD. Somebody looking for the ball here, because as we were saying a moment ago, Declan, this is a dangerous position, and it's Dignam who gets it down on the left hand side. Back to Gallagher. Gives it back to Dignam, a little 1-2. Plays it back towards Keeney. A ball in towards Keane. Caffrey has possession, but that's good defending from Sligo, but UCD still come away with it. Evan Ozam now on the left hand side. He's got a little bit of space in front of him. He picks out Keane. Oh, back towards Ozam, but that's good defending by Bulger, and the ball is cleared up the left.
Todd now for the students, looking for Dara Keane, but Bulger tidies up for Sligo and sends Keane out of his own half with a cross-field ball, which is gathered by O'Sullivan. He finds McDonald, and it's back with Blaney and Gary Buckley, and it's back now with Bulger, and Bulger finds Horgan. Back with Buckley, back with Blaney, looking for Kirk. Kirk sends it into the channel for Adam McDonald to run onto, and Euro will watch this go out of play.
Yeah, just with 25 minutes gone at the UCD ball, I can tell you that there's been a goal in the game between Dundalk and St Patrick's Athletic. It's gone to the hosts Dundalk up at Oriel Park. Daniel Kelly with the goal on 24 minutes, and it was Will Patching who got the equaliser for Derry City in that other game. So 5 games ongoing around the country tonight, and you can watch them all live on LOI TV.
And there's no score at Dalymount, and it's still 1-0 at Tallaght Stadium. So goal kick now from Cian Moore for UCD. Ball goes over halfway, looking for Dylan Duffy, and it's cleared by Sligo Rovers, but Keeney has sent his attempted clearance over the end line for a goal kick to Sligo Rovers, which will be taken by Edward McGinty.
Yeah, it's bizarre. We're getting 25 minutes in, but it still doesn't really feel like it's properly settled. It's still very scrappy in the middle third. Neither team with a proper foothold in this game yet, Declan, you would think.
No, not at all. Nobody is in control of this game. Neither team nor the officials are in control of this game.
Yeah, Yarrow wins that header and gets it as far as Keeney. Evan Ozam, the ball forward.
Buckley tidies up there, finds Horgan. The ball's knocked back for McGinty. McGinty will be challenged by Evan Caffrey. I said I like the look of this new look forward line with Caffrey and Duffy. They are making life difficult for the Sligo defence, and they're not to be messed with, basically, which is what you want from a student team.
Well, yeah, you're replacing somebody who's such a good finisher of the ball, so that'll be the challenge for them. But as you say, they're big, strong lads. It'll be interesting to see what kind of impact they can have over the next few weeks.
And not just in the air either. Like, they're physically good, and they put themselves about in a positive way.
Yeah, and it's down towards Keane, but Sligo managed to get the clearance. Eric Yarrow under this. Keane are chasing it for Sligo, although Todd is making sure to give him a little bit of attention there. It will be Eric Yarrow now. The ball towards Dignam out on the right hand side, but underneath it for Sligo is Paddy Kirk.
Always seems to have enough time to do what he needs to do. That's the one thing that's impressed me very much with this young man, I have to say, this season.
Eric Yarrow?
Yeah, for an 18-year-old, tremendous.
100%. I mean, look, at that age you're learning. Gave away, I suppose, a penalty against Dundalk, but in other games he's been really, really, really good. Mm-hmm. And it's just about getting that bit of confidence. It's difficult when you're in a team, I suppose, that's bottom of the table.
And conceding 37 goals in 18 outings.
Yeah, but you just grow in confidence, you get used to it. You back yourself a bit more as you go on. So that should be seemed to me to be a clear UCD ball. The UCD player kicked it against the Sligo player, but sure, either way we will continue. It's going to be a throw-in for Sligo, and it's looking like Paddy Kirk who's going to take it in front of the travelling support.
Paddy Kirk, who had a spell with Bowes, if memory serves me correctly.
Little ball over the top. Gallagher here, he's under a bit of pressure, but he gets it as far as Keane in the middle of the park. He drops it back for Keeney. Nice play from UCD out to Evan Ozam on the left. Ozam has a little bit of space, but good pressure there from Fitzgerald to force him backwards. Over to Yarrow.
Eric Yarrow now for UCD. Looking for Kerrigan, but Horgan wins it in the air and heads it down towards Sam Todd, who's clearing his lines. Gathered by Sligo again in the form of Niall Morahan, and it's been tapped back to McGinty by Buckley, and McGinty is looking for Paddy Kirk.
Lovely header on from O'Sullivan there. He's chasing it down himself, but Gallagher has got there. He's going to have to do something with it. Gets it back to Yarrow, who's going to complete the clearance. And it's headed forward by Blaney. But that ball goes straight out, so it will be a UCD throw to be taken by Gallagher.
Yeah, Michael Gallagher, another man from the northwest, an ex-Donegal man himself from Finn Harps. And he finds Jack Keeney, ex-Sligo Rover, who finds Dylan Duffy. And the ball has come back on this side. I was having a chat with Sean Brennan before the game. He's recovering from a foot injury, and he's hoping to be back training fully in the coming week.
He'll be a welcome option for UCD to have, must be said, particularly after the under-21 break that's coming up next week. And of course Liam Kerrigan has been included in that squad. The ball breaks, it's gone back as far as Keenmore, and UCD have a chance to build from the back.
And of course there'll be a lot of action for the international teams, not just the under-21s, because the Nations League team is in action as well. Their senior team will be playing a few matches over the next few days in early June.
Now Keeney underneath it. Ooh, lovely bit of play there from Will Fitzgerald. He gets it back as far as Colm Horgan. Plays it forward. It's a little bit of a loose pass there, but Fitzgerald does well, but it comes back on the UCD side to Kerrigan. Nice little touch from Kerrigan. He's got a bit of space in front of him. What can he do from here? Kerrigan with the shot.
And it's any more towards the cure, got into the trees.
Yeah, that's disappointing. That was again an opportunity with 3 going forward. He elected to go for it himself. Worth the effort. Don't get me wrong, but he just never quite got over the ball.
Well, you Dylan Duffy to his left, who wasn't in a good position to receive the ball, and I don't know if the options to the right were that good either. Let's have a look at it here.
Good play by Keeney initially to win the possession. You can see the little run there from
you can see why he chose to go himself. The other options for passing weren't brilliant. Evan Ozam now for UCD with Bulger. And it's with Morahan. Morahan looking for McDonald. McDonald dispossessed by Todd. Ball finds itself at the feet of Kerrigan. Kerrigan surrounded by 2 Sligo Rovers trying to retain possession.
They've done well there. Fitzgerald down with the ball. Lovely ball inside, bit of space here for McDonald. Plays it out to Keena. Is he offside? He's not, but he's lost possession. Ozam as far as Kerrigan, but Kerrigan doesn't get the touch, and it's back with Horgan. And then down with Fitzgerald on the right. What can he do here? Good play from Keeney, who is bundled over. Not sure that's allowed, but there you go. It has been allowed. And it's back here then with Bulger.
So it seems the Marquess of Queensbury rules applied today by all accounts.
Ball down the right. Ozam, is he going to let this go out? That's what he's going to be trying to do, but did he get a touch? He did, so he has to clear it. And that's good pressure from Fitzgerald on Ozam in the right corner.
We've 32 minutes gone here at the UCD Bowl. It's still 0-0, still very scrappy. Nobody really has grabbed this game by the horns, to use a bull analogy. And it's basically...
Good man, Declan. Now here comes Keeney. Person out the left hand side. Look forward to more bull analogies later on. Well, hopefully not, in fact. Todd with the clearance as far as Ozam. Ozam clips it on, and it goes as far as Kerrigan, but that's good play by Greg Bulger to get a toe in there.
Well, when you get agricultural challenges, you kind of, you never go to cattle. You know what I'm saying?
McDonald takes on his fellow number 17, Keane, but it is Keane who gets the ball away.
Dylan Duffy there was trapped in a sandwich there, and again, nothing awarded. It's back with McGinty. McGinty, who's obviously a fan of Will Smith. And he sends the ball up the wing. And it's back with Cian Moore. Ed McGinty's opposite number.
32 minutes on the clock in this SSE Electricity Premier Division clash between UCD and Sligo Rovers. 0-0. Cian Moore taking his time there under a little bit of pressure from Carlos Sullivan. He picks the ball up, and that slows everything right down. Now, Moore launches one. Duffy got a touch, but it wasn't a particularly clear touch, was it, Declan?
No, it hit him on the shoulder, so to speak.
Yeah. Todd underneath this. Fitzgerald puts him under pressure. Keeney does well to get a little touch there. It's going to be a throw-in for Sligo.
And Horgan, nice piece of sprinting there from Horgan, must be said. Gathers the ball. Doug is his own ball boy, effectively.
Yeah, his lace is untied, his right boot there. He might not be aware, as is Bulger's. Bulger's must be said.
Health and safety, Peter.
But yeah, you wouldn't want to see someone have a trip or fall, and it's Blaney now in possession for Sligo. Plays it out there to Moran. And then out the left hand side.
And Kirk is dispossessed, but manages to regain possession in the same movement, so to speak. Greg Bulger's been pretty good and busy and industrious for Sligo Rovers, although unfortunately for him there's been no real end product.
Yeah, but a little ball over the top there from Keane, but it's going to go out for a throw in once again for Sligo to be taken by Blaney. Well,
I have to say, Peter, at this point in the game, if you offered me 0-0 at 90 minutes, I'd take it.
Yeah. You take a point in the form that UCD. Well, they had a win and a draw and then back-to-back defeats, but you certainly wanted to get something out of a game like this. But long way to go yet for UCD before we concede just taking a point out of it. Sligo, of course, came into this game 5th in the table, so they will feel this is a game that they would be favourites and big favourites to win. Horgan now.
One of the interesting things I've seen in recent times is the fact that Pats and Sligo have both qualified for Europe and have both Sligo coming out of their slump, but Pats seem to be going into one which was halted by the 3-0 win against Bows the other night.
Yeah, indeed.
Strange coincidence, I thought. Anyway, we move on.
Buckley with the ball over the top. It's a lovely ball. Good defending though from Ozam, but that's really good play there by McDonald. He's done really well to get to that ball. Gets it back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has to go back. He's under a little bit of pressure there from a combination of Keane and Ozam. The ball comes into the middle of the box. It's well headed clear there by Todd.
To Bulger, gathers and sends it back to Blaney. Shane Blaney now for Sligo Rovers, looking for Paddy Kirk. Kirk back to Blaney. Blaney sends a speculative one in towards the goal, and Cian Moore can gather quite comfortably with his feet.
Yeah, once again, didn't put a hand to the ball, so this means he can kill a bit more time. Very early in the game to be killing time, but obviously that's what UCD are electing to do in this game. So where is he going to go with this ball?
And of course the second half with the sun won't be as big an issue when he's defending the opposite goal.
Indeed.
Yarrow now under it. And that was a blatant push in the back against Caffrey.
Caffrey, yeah.
And it will be a free to UCD just inside the centre circle.
Yeah, and you can see Bulger's annoyed at himself. He's, a clear foul and a chance for UCD to do something here right on halfway. What can they do? They've wasted a couple of these so far. Ball over the top. It's a lovely ball for Keane to chase down. He surely will get there. He does get there, but that's good defending from Sligo. They managed to get the ball clear. He's underneath it again here. Todd with the header. And it's Kerrigan chasing it down. That's a good little shimmy there from Colm Horgan, and it's going to be a Sligo throw inside their own half.
Yeah, Colm Horgan now to throw for Sligo. It's at times like these that fans and management alike would shout to players, "Show for him! Show for him!"
Yeah, indeed. Sligo putting themselves under a little bit of pressure, but that's some good play to get it out. The pass back from Morahan, and it's found its way back to McGinty. He launches it. It's going to be Todd underneath this, and he's got a little bit of time. He's aiming for Caffrey, but it's well intercepted by Bulger.
Bulger's used all his experience there to read that one like a cheap novel.
Sullivan down the left, back to Bulger. Sligo play it all the way back to McGinty here. They're trying to go down the right hand side. Buckley here.
Not the most elegant game of football by any stretch of the imagination.
No, you wouldn't say that it is, in all fairness.
And not the sort of game that if you brought your child to for the first time that they'd be turned on with the sport either.
Well, certainly no. With nearly 37 minutes on the clock, it's chances few and far between if there's been any. But this might be an opportunity now for Sligo down the left. Much better play from them. A low ball in, but Yarrow even blocks it at the front post, and it will be a corner for Sligo, and it's looking like McDonald going over to take it.
And McDonald created that opportunity himself, so I suppose it's only fitting that he take the corner.
Indeed. Now we know UCD have been susceptible under the high ball corner situations. They've conceded a couple of goals this season, so what can McDonald do from this position? Ooh, it's not a great cross, but it's worked out. Maybe that was a little training ground move. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Either way, Cian Moore collects the ball, and it's a chance for UCD to build once more.
Yeah, it was a backheel flick there. One wonders if that's a training ground manoeuvre.
Yeah.
Keena there with that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Keena with the little flick. Ooh, a nice header
nice
there.
Bit of skill, but it didn't come off.
No. Oh, the ball is broken. Opportunity for Duffy. If he goes down, it's surely a red card, but...
Now that's appalling. That's appalling that wasn't awarded.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, if that happened to Sligo Rovers in the showgrounds, or if that happened to Bowes in Dalymount, or if that happened to Wexford FC in Ferrycarrig Park, the home team would have been awarded a penalty.
Yeah, lovely part of the country, Ferrycarrig, but that is really shocking. Yeah, hopefully we'll see a replay shortly, but either way, Sligo up the other end now. McDonald with possession. Would be typical if they were to score from the next attack, because really UCD should have had a penalty there. Cleared from Todd.
I think it's another example of the fact that Myler's comments are spot on.
Little ball over the top here. It's well defended by Gallagher. Caffrey now in the middle. Clears one for Kerrigan to chase down, but McGinty's surely going to get to this first, and indeed he does. Willie O'Connor still speaking to the linesman on our side of the park here. He's not happy with that previous penalty decision. Ball over the top. Caffrey's chasing this down. It's a lovely ball. Great touch as well by Fitzgerald, but Ozam has done well to get back and give it to Todd, who chips a not particularly lengthy clearance there, but Fitzgerald breaks. Edge of the box. Lovely play by Sligo out on the left hand side here to Kirk. Chips one towards the back post. It's a good ball, but Todd does well to get ahead to it. Here's the captain now, and out to the left hand side for Morahan. Sligo building here. Keeney attempting to get the tackle, and the shot comes in. Ooh,
very good save by Cian Moore.
Yeah, very well gathered. You can see that potentially slipping through his hands, but it's a good save. If we don't get a replay of that penalty incident before, or in the next couple of moments, we might certainly get it at half time, but certainly one of the big talking points from this first half at the Bowl. Kerrigan now underneath this. A little push there from Horgan. We play on.
There have been several, shall we say, incidents not given to UCD during this first half. And in the absence of goals, that's what we'll have to concentrate on.
Yeah, indeed. Kirk's ball over the top is a little bit hopeful there. Chasing down was Carl O'Sullivan, but it is going to be a throw-in for UCD, which Gallagher is going to take. And here we have the incident now. You can see it was Shane Blaney who lost control. And in fairness, I suppose the shot was put away initially, and I suppose that's possibly why the referee is of the view that it was not a penalty for UCD. But we will have a little bit more on that a little bit later on. And then that effort coming in that was well saved.
Did he deem that he had given the UCD player the advantage because he was in an attacking position? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. It's going to be a throw-in though for Sligo out on the left-hand side of the park. Might be Kirk who's taking it. Hard to see from this remove. Either way, the ball comes inside for McDonald. It's played back. And it's across then to Buckley. Buckley to Horgan. Horgan up to Fitzgerald, who's been really good in this first half, trying to get one to Bulger, but it's cleared by Todd.
And Todd has a throw-in awarded against him, and it'll be taken by Horgan. There are two balls on the pitch, or at least there's one in Horgan's hand, and there's another ball on the pitch, so that needs to be removed before play can proceed. Darragh Keane does the honourable thing and puts it out of play.
Bulger, back to Horgan. And it's a ball back that Dylan Duffy's going to put a bit of pressure on there. And he did, but the ball is cleared across towards Blaney.
Blaney has Kirk to his left, and he has options to his right. He chooses Kirk. Paddy Kirk to Carl O'Sullivan, back to Niall Morahan, back to Blaney, and back to McGinty.
Searching ball, Fitzgerald underneath it, as is Horgan. A lovely touch again from Fitzgerald, but Kerrigan is there to read it and clear the ball. Caffrey's underneath this for UCD. Bulger with the header. Dylan Duffy heads that, but he's headed it back towards his own goal, but it does reach Dignam out on the right hand side. UCD looking for a handball, and it's going to be given, and it's an opportunity now with a free kick just inside their own half. Just shy of 3 minutes to go here at the UCD Bowl, where it's scoreless in this SSE Electricity Premier Division clash between UCD and Sligo Rovers.
And on the basis of the previous 42 minutes, it's going to be scoreless at half time.
Todd. One for Duffy to chase down. It's going to be a free kick for Sligo Rovers, the man who went down there. Gary Buckley under attacker from Dylan Duffy. They take it quickly, back to McGinty. Now can Sligo get the lead here before the break? Ooh, good pressure there from Caffrey. And it's Bulger, who's on the edge of his own box here. He's looking for somebody to make a move from. He's going to have to go backwards. And you can see Bulger, he's calling for his players ahead of him to make a bit of a move. Now it's a nice ball for Keena to chase. Eric Yarrow is there with him. Oh, lovely turn from Keena. What can he do here? He's cut in from the left-hand side. Still Keena. Oh, good block there from Todd. But it's still with Sligo on the left for Carl O'Sullivan. Chipped ball in. Cleared by Gallagher at the front post, and Caffrey completes the clearance. And under it is Dylan Duffy. He did well with the first touch, but that was some good play by Buckley. It's still Buckley coming forward. Plays it out here to on the right. And then to Fitzgerald. Someone, as I've said, who's impressed me in this opening half. Fitzgerald's cross is a deep one. And it's going to be cleared, and it was Carl O'Sullivan who was desperately trying to get to that ball, but in the process he fouled the UCD man, and it will be a free kick for College. But this was really lovely play from Keena, cutting in, turned Yarrow inside out, then he beat Gallagher, took the shot, and eventually it was Todd who got the block in.
But that's the sort of defending that UCD are going to need to keep doing if they're going to survive in this division, and to prevent goals going in, because they're not scoring enough up the other end to compensate. Yeah,
I suppose putting the positive spin in terms of the Todd block, but he did beat two UCD defenders to get the opportunity. Now we've less than a minute to go, so we'll let you know how much added time we're going to get here as soon as we know. Underneath it is Duffy. He gets it as far as Dignam. Dignam is under pressure, but he is retaining possession, and just as I say that, he loses out to Niall Morahan.
And Bulger then shepherded it out of play and made sure that the UCD player was the player who touched it last. It's a goal kick to Sligo Rovers to be taken by Edward McGinty.
Now, there's been another goal at Tallaght Stadium, and it's a second for Shamrock Rovers. Gaffney with the second, and they now lead Shelburne 2-0. And their bitter rivals, Bohemians, have taken the lead at Dalymount against Drogheda United. Not sure who's got that goal yet, but a couple of goals across the city.
Sam Todd with the header there towards Dylan Duffy, but it was a bit too much oomph in it, and it's gone back to Edmund McGinty for Sligo Rovers. Gary Buckley coming away with it now for the bitter red, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, half time in the SSC Electricity
no extra
Premier
time
Division.
was added on. We're back underway here at the UCD Bowl, and the second half is underway. The ball is now being put out of play by Eric Yarrow, and it'll be a throw in to Sligo Rovers. Blaney sends it across to Gary Buckley. Buckley sending it towards the far post, looking for Carl O'Sullivan, but O'Sullivan committed a foul, and it'll be free out to UCD inside their own area, which they're leaving for Cian Moore to take.
No changes at half time that we are aware of anyway, so we go again, so to speak. Now, more with the free kick for UCD. It's well headed on by Sullivan. Todd with the header forward. Launched forward once again by O'Sullivan, but once again it's Todd, but only as far as Keena. He does really well there. To Bulger. Here's Keena. Plays it out to the left hand side here. O'Sullivan. The attempt to play it through the middle, but that's good play by Keane for UCD. He tries to break way down the left, but once again on the right hand side there it's Horgan who comes away with the ball. Now Horgan, ball through the middle. Little chipped ball over the top there from Keena. To Bulger. It's cut out by Evan Azam, and it will be a throw in for Sligo.
Sligo have been pretty businesslike in the opening moments of this second half. But having said that, commentators curse, the ball's gone out of play. It'll be a throw into UCD, which will be taken by Evan Ozan.
So the sun beginning to set, but of course if you're sitting in the main stand here at the UCD Bowl, you're still getting it right in the eyes. We're in the lucky position of being on the far side of the park here.
Yeah, in the immortal words of Bruce Springsteen, you would be blinded by the light.
Yeah, Dignam with the ball out to the right hand side, to Gallagher, to Kerrigan. Kerrigan has Caffrey up the right. Caffrey just managed to stay on side, but will he get to the ball? He won't. That's good defending once again from Blaney. And it's Bulger now in the middle of the park. Ball back here as far as Buckley. Buckley has a little bit of time. Plays it up the right to Horgan. The ball into the middle there. Good play from Keena. Back as far as Blaney. McDonald. Ball then out to the left hand side. No good play from McDonald. He elects to go himself. Plays it inside, but UCD put a little bit of pressure on. It's played back to Bulger. Now out to the right hand side. What can Sligo do? This is a dangerous position. This is a good play from Horgan on the right. Ball comes in. It's a good ball in. Oh, and it goes straight across the front of the goal. And in fact, it is going to go out for a goal kick to UCD. But that was an opportunity, Declan,
absolutely
for Sligo Rovers to come into it.
Probably a better opportunity than they've had for quite a period in this game.
Yeah, very possibly. You can see here Horgan down the right hand side. He took on Dignam. Had a little bit of pace for him, put the ball in, dangerous ball. You could see that Cian Moore was worried, but thankfully from a UCD perspective that ball didn't dip under his far posts. Now underneath this is Dylan Duffy. Does well, gets as far as Caffrey. Duffy puts the pressure on again, but it breaks nicely for Buckley. Gives it back to McGinty, who launches it forward. Todd is underneath this, challenging is with him is Keena, but Todd gets the header. Keane underneath it, he does well to give it into the ball into the path of Caffrey. The ball then played out onto the right hand side, and here is Colm Horgan. Bulger. Ball across to Blaney. Gallagher now putting pressure on Kirk, and indeed he gets the tackle in, and it will be a throw-in for Sligo Rover. Sligo Rovers even. A theme of the first half is the number of throw-ins we've had. We've already had a couple in the second half as well. Taken quickly here. Out onto the right hand side once again with Horgan. Inside for Bulger. Bulger to Kirk. Back to Bulger. Patient build-up play here from Sligo. O'Sullivan. Back as far as Buckley. Plays it out here to Kirk, who's on our left-hand side. He's got one for O'Sullivan to chase, but Gallagher gets a toe in there, and it's going to be another throw-in for Sligo here on the left-hand side. Kirk with the throw. Yarrow underneath it, and he clears it. Only one UCD player underneath this, Dylan Duffy, but the header is a really poor one there from Buckley, and it hasn't been reached by Kirk. So it means it's going to be a throw-in which Liam Carrigan will take for UCD on halfway. And in fact, he elects to leave it. He's leaving it for Gallagher. Gallagher with the throw. Towards Carrigan, but it's cut out by O'Sullivan. Flicked on by McDonald. Keeney now plays it out left to Evan Ozam. And he's got Fitzgerald for company. Dignam out on the left hand side. Plays it back to Keeney. Ball back here for Todd. Todd's pulled back. Could have possibly been a free kick, but they'll play on with UCD still in possession. Back to Keane Moore. Eric Yarrow. A little bit of space in front of him. He's going to go for a long ball. He searches for one for Keane out on the left hand side, and he's found him. Good pass. Back to Ozam, in towards Keeney, but there's a little bit of pressure coming in there from McDonald. Keeney does well. Gets it to Dignam. Back to Keeney. Ooh, Keeney gets a foot in ahead of the player there, and it was Colm Horgan who was the guilty party. Free kick for UCD Declan just inside the Sligo half.
Yeah, and it's good to see the players learning lessons from their fellow players, shall we say, on the opposition. That was a very professionally gained foul, shall we say, as opposed to one that's committed.
Caffrey to Gallagher. He's got a couple of lads out on the left. He plays the ball. It's a really poor ball though, and it puts UCD under the cosh here. O'Sullivan now on the left hand side. Can Sligo break with a bit of pace here? Bulger to Euro. That's not what Sligo wanted, but it is what UCD wanted. And it's back here as far as Keenmore. Ball out to the left hand side for Dignam to chase. A bit too much zip on it. No, he manages to get a toe to the ball, but all he does is help it forward, and it'll still be a throw in for Sligo Rovers.
But about a few feet north of their own corner flag, where it can do the least amount of damage possible.
I think it only just went out. Ooh, well, Evan Ozam is suggesting where it went out. Throws the ball a little bit further back. A little bit of ping pong going on in the far corner there, but it will be a throw for Sligo.
Keena with the receiving the throw, and it's gone back out of play for a throw into UCD. The scrappiness continues, Peter.
Yeah, it does indeed. It hasn't settled. You get the sense already that UCD would kind of take the point, which there's no, I mean, they're taking on a team in the top half of the table. There's no reason why you wouldn't take a point, but you know, you do have to be ambitious in the home games to maybe try and nick a win here or there and put the pressure on Finn Harps, who, by the way, are also drawing 1-0 with Derry City up the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium.
But that result stays as it does, and this result stays as it does. It needs the gaps to remain at 2 points.
Indeed. Evan Ozam, once again a UCD throw that they're under a little bit of the pressure themselves. Keane with the header, but it's cleared. And it's helped on. Bulger pushes it through, but it's only as far as Yarrow, although he misses the ball completely, and here's a chance for Keena running at the UCD defence. Really good play though from Todd there, but Keena manages to hold on to the ball. And it's Fitzgerald there on the right hand side. Dangerous player for Sligo. Still Fitzgerald.
Former Derry City player.
And the ball comes back. Nice little ball through for Keena. He tries to turn Ozam, but Ozam does well. Although Keena has done really well. Keena with the shot. It's saved. On the line. The header comes in. And the ball is in the back of the net. And Sligo Rovers have the lead.
Carl Sullivan got the final touch.
Yeah, UCD players looking for the flag there, Declan, but it was not coming. And Sligo Rovers have the lead with just shy of 9 minutes gone in this second half of the bowl. UCD had their chances to clear that one, Declan. You can see it here on the replay. The initial turn from Keena. It looked like Ozam had him, but Keena did really well. Got past the man. The shot came in. It was saved by Keane Moore. It looked like it was possibly going in anyway. Either way, the final touch looks like it came in from Carlos Sullivan. And Sligo have the lead here at the UCD Bowl.
Is it possible Ozan was fouled there?
I don't think so, in fairness. I think that was a contest for the ball and he just came out second best, so to speak. But it means now, as we were just saying a few moments ago, UCD can no longer sit back and try and sort of steal a point in this game, so to speak. They have to get a goal. Here's Keane, good position for Keane. The shot comes in and that is a really wayward, I suppose, effort from the young man, high and wide to the left.
Yeah, that wouldn't score in any... Well, it might score as a behind in Australian rules, but that's about it.
Yeah, very possibly.
Or the compromise rules, as the case may be, depending on which code you prefer. Sligo on the attack again. And Yarrow will clear his lines. And it's going to be left for McGinty to gather. And he rolls it out to Blaney. Sends it out to Buckley. Buckley being jockeyed by Dylan Duffy. Duffy has been quite impressive in his role as a kind of a menace to the defence.
Yeah, indeed.
It's at the feet of Adam McDonnell.
Keenan once again with the lovely ball in for O'Sullivan down the left. He's taking on Galler. He turns him inside out. Can he get the shot away? He can't. That's good defending from Galler. But it's on the edge of the box for Keenan. The block from Todd. And Sligo looking for a penalty because of a handball, or at least that's the suggestion. But nothing doing. Here's Keane.
Might I suggest to John Russell that penalties don't seem to get awarded in that penalty box?
Oh.
And the referee took one full in the face there.
Yeah, it's Keeney with the effort, and it's hit referee David Dunn right in the face. So it looks like we might have to have a substitution in the referee.
Members of both physiotherapy teams going to attend to the match official. And hopefully he's not too seriously injured.
Yeah, David Dunn, it looks like he's in a bit of pain. That caught him right in the face, and it was Keeney who kicked the ball, the UCD captain, and unfortunate, very unfortunate, as you can see, from point blank range, and that one is going to hurt. So hopefully the referee David Dunn will be all right in a moment or two.
Well, it's partly the reason for having a fourth official is in case something like this happens.
Yeah.
Now, one of the linesmen is going in to see if the referee requires a substitution.
Yeah, it's rare, but it does happen. Referee getting substituted out of a game, and you can see the fourth official Derek Tomney in front of us. He might have to start double jobbing. He might have to do a little bit of linesman, and he might have to do fourth officialing if it comes to it.
Well, he has to do the fourth official job because Lewis Banks is replacing Colm Horgan in the 57th minute. And there may be another substitution taking place.
So yeah, it's Banks coming in and Colm Horgan going out in the 58th minute here at the ball. And I can tell you referee David Dunn is still receiving treatment in the middle of the park here, and I would be surprised, going by what we're seeing here, that he's going to be able to continue this one, unfortunately. I would suggest that he's going to possibly going to have to come off here. These are not scenes anybody would want to see in a game. Much as we thought maybe we didn't get a number of decisions going our way, Declan, you wouldn't like to see this happen.
No, indeed. And if he does have to go off, he's got concussion and he'd probably miss another couple of matches.
Yeah, indeed.
With the protocols, I mean.
So we've been down now for a couple of minutes in this game as this treatment is meted out.
So the assistant referee looks like, who was on this side, I'm not sure what his name is, looks like he's ready to take over. As we only got their names, we know who the referee is, we know who the fourth official is, but we don't know which one's Emmett and we don't know which one's Trevor Cotter of the assistant referees. So basically we just have to wing it. And it looks like the referee will have to be substituted. The stretcher has been brought on. The fourth official looks like he's about to resume duty as a linesperson stroke. Do you remember fly goalies, Peter?
Yeah.
In street football. It looks like he's going to be a fly linesman. He's going to be double jobbing between the fourth official and the line.
Yeah, it looks like Emmett Dinan who's going to come on as the referee, and yeah, highly unusual, but you can see both sets of squads now kicking the ball around just to stay warm, although it's by no means is it a cold evening here in the shadow of the water tower at UCD.
But in the immortal words of Phil Lynott, when the sun goes down, it does get a little bit chillier, and there is a noticeable drop in temperature since the sun has parted from the sky, so to speak.
Is that a full Phil Lynott lyric, that whole thing?
Well, no, it's not. But the sun goes down is the punchline of the end of most verses. There is a beast within us whose soul remains in hell is the opening line of the first verse. It's from their last album, Thunder and Lightning.
Well, I don't know about remaining in hell, but as things stand, UCD will be remaining bottom of the Premier Division, excuse me, at the end of the night if things stay as they are.
That's football hell, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's an unusually long pause, I suppose. It's never a good sign when a pause like this happens. We'll just have a quick run through of some of the scores elsewhere. Over at Dalymount Park, Bohemians are still leading Drogheda by a goal to nil. Jordan Flores with the goal on the stroke of half time. It's 1-1 at the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium. Mihailovic had given Finn Harps the lead. Will Patching equalised. I'm not sure if you saw that goal during the highlights at half time. It was a bizarre free kick from sort of 40 yards. The goalkeeper got caught out. All ends up 1-1 in that game. Dundalk are 1-up against St Patrick's Athletic. That's Daniel Kelly with the goal at Oriel Park. Shamrock Rovers are 2-up on Shelbourne. That game is just back underway. Richie Tell and Ryan Gaffney with the goals. And seeing as we have a little bit of time, I'll give you the first division scores as well. Waterford have just gone 2-up on Treaty United. Cork are 1-up away to Galway. Bray lead Athlone 1-0, and it's Cove Ramblers 2, Longford Town 3. So the goals flying in that game down in the southwest.
So Emmett Dine is taking over as referee, which means that Trevor Cotter will be on one wing, Derek Tomley will be on the other, and he'll be, as I said, fly fourth official, most likely. And
it means we're also going to be facing, at least I would make it 5 minutes plus whatever they give for substitutions at the end of additional time here, so we'll be getting a little bit closer to 20 to 10, but that's not a nice sight to see. The referee.
No, it's not, and we wish him well. And as I said, it looks like if he has going off for being hit in the face with a football, it is going to be a concussion, and he could miss 2 or 3 matches. Perhaps the mid-season break is coming at a good time for him under the present circumstances.
Yeah, St John's Ambulance volunteers doing their work here at the park, and it's not a sight you want to see.
No.
Anything related to the head. So if you're not going to speculate on what the injury might be, but it's certainly something you do not want to see. And David Dunn is going to be leaving the ground here.
Like I said, we wish him well with his recovery from this quite unusual injury, and so we have to make do with 3 officials for the rest of the match.
Another goal at Commons Park. Longford now 4-2 up on Cove in the SSE Airtricity First Division game.
That was a game, as I said on my preview on 103.2 Dublin City FM, that Longford Town desperately needed to win following their run of recent defeats.
It's looking like they will. So we were thinking it was Emmett Dinan, but I think it's actually Trevor Cotter who's in the middle of the park. So we're going to resume with Keeney with possession of the ball over the top for Kerrigan to chase at the back post. A nice header there from Kirk. But it is going to be a throw-in for UCD deep in their territory. And I can tell you there's been another goal in the game between Derry City and Finn Harps. And unfortunately, it has gone to the Donegal club. That obviously, from a UCD perspective, no hard feelings towards Finn Harps. They just happen to be the team that UCD are battling against in terms of automatic relegation this season.
Yeah, and should that stay as it is, the gap will increase.
Yeah, it could be 5 points by the end of the night. Still a long way to go in both games.
Banks now for Sligo Rovers. A nice bit of skill there. Charged down by Todd, and it's gone out for a throw-in. 2 Sligo Rovers on their right, which Lewis Banks will take. Lewis Banks, the only substitute introduced in the game so far, but we have had a substitution of the referee.
So, dangerous position for Sligo here. What can they do out in the far right-hand side? Cross comes in. It's a decent ball there along the ground for McDonald, but UCD managed to clear it. A loose touch from Dylan Duffy. He goes down. He's looking for the free. It's not given. Bulger has possession of the ball. Keena on the edge of the box here for Sligo. Still Keena. He's still going. Keena. Nice close control. Back out of here onto the left. And the ball comes in. It's a deep one at the back post, but it's headed clear by Caffrey at the other end of the park. Kerrigan goes in underneath that. He's got a bit of a a bang in the shoulder, and he goes down, and he looks like he's in a little bit of pain indeed.
So the physiotherapy unit has been the busiest team of officials so far in this second half. Kerrigan might survive this one by the looks of things, but he's back to his feet without requiring any attention. Now, it looks like an FAI official is going to act as the fourth official. Back now with Carl O'Sullivan for Sligo. Sends a nice ball into the path of Will Fitzgerald. Will Fitzgerald cuts inside and he finds... and Adam McDonald hit a shot just across the face of the goal there, and there was nobody on the receiving end of it, and it's gone out of play, and it'll be a goal kick to UCD. That was a case of the year of living dangerously for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Nice play from Sligo. Obviously the goal has given them a little bit of confidence there, and UCD will want to be careful. It's looking like a trio of substitutions are going to be made by UCD. We know Donald Higgins, Alex Nolan and Thomas Lonergan came on at Talca on Monday night. It'll be interesting to see if any of those players are included in the substitutions that are about to be made here. But we do resume, but as you say, Declan, Sligo just with a little bit more confidence since taking the lead. So it is basically the board is going to be operated by club officials under the supervision of an FAI official. Ball cleared. Underneath this is Dylan Duffy, but the flag goes up and it's going to be a free kick for Sligo Rovers just inside their own half. Those substitutions won't be made just yet. So basically the drill appears to be you tell the assistant referee on your side that you're making a substitution. You punch the numbers into the board. The FAI official supervises the paperwork has been done, and Bob's your uncle. Good play out on the right hand side there by McDonald. Still going. He's done well, and he gets it into the substitute there, Banks. The effort comes in, but it's well taken by Keane Moore. Well held. Nice height from, I suppose. Now Keane Moore with a searching ball, which Kerrigan is underneath. Kerrigan does well, but Bulger comes in to steal it, although Caffrey has come in to steal the ball from him, and it's going to be a throw in for UCD, which Gallagher will take. Again, you need a little bit of movement here from UCD, and Gallagher is going to have to get rid of this one. No movement here from UCD. You got Keeney, the captain, behind him, and he's ended up just throwing it straight to Sligo man. I'm sure Andy Myler watches these things back, something that they definitely need to sort out because it's very frustrating, and I'm sure it's frustrating for him as well. But here's Eric Yarrow. Great defending from Eric Yarrow there, under a lot of pressure from a Sligo Rovers opponent, and he managed to get the ball clear. Yeah, the header back there then from Blaney to his goalkeeper McGinty, and Sligo will do the work up on the right hand side. Now it's looking like it is that trio that were on the other night, Declan, of Nolan, Lonergan and Higgins, who are going to be reintroduced tonight. McGinty with the long ball. Keane is underneath it, but Yarrow's done really well to get there. Bulger though wins it back for Sligo. O'Sullivan back to Bulger, and a ball in over the top, which is being chased down by Paddy Kirk from the captain into Kirk. Kirk's ball across the box has been cleared. Enterprising play there from Sligo. Indeed. And the next generation talent about to enter the field for UCD. I like it. That was good. Unscripted as well. Ball over the top. A nice header on by Bulger. Plays it back as far as Lewis Banks. Lewis Banks with a ball to nobody in particular, and Todd heads it forward. It goes to Caffrey. Caffrey under a bit of pressure from Bulger. Bulger clearly handled the ball, but the referee has waved play on. And I think even Bulger was maybe slightly surprised that he was waved play on because he just kicked the ball away. Comes back though to Keeney. Keeney's ball to Keane. He's got a bit of space here. Nice touch. Sullivan comes back. It's a good ball in for Caffrey. What can Caffrey do on the edge of the box? An opportunity here. Is he going to pull the trigger? He doesn't. He plays it out to... the ball comes in from Keeney. Back to Caffrey. Caffrey chips it in. It's a lovely ball opportunity. Yes! The ball is in the back of the net. We're level here at the UCD ball. And that is an excellent bit of play from UCD. Lovely play, Declan. And it's... Dylan Duffy who finished it in at the back post, and that's excellent play. I would suggest he was one of the players who potentially was going to be coming off, but he has just headed UCD level in this game. Well, we did mention his physical presence there, and he got a reward for annoying defenders for the last 60 odd minutes of the match. Yeah, really good play. You could see the effort came in initially, and then the ball was clipped in over the top. It was the two strikers. The ball from
from Caffrey, excuse me, and then it was headed into the back of the net by Duffy. And we are level at the UCD Bowl with 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
And again, it looks like the decision to pick the two boys up front has proved to be a tactical masterstroke from Andy Meyer, which has borne fruition in these last few seconds.
And interestingly, the three lads who were going to come in, they put their bibs back on and they are just back down warming up. So obviously that was a tactic to try and get a goal, but now the UCD have the goal. The A team is staying on, so to speak. That ball looked like it went out over the end line, but well, indeed it did. It was Carlos Sullivan who was going to get it, but that ball was
there is
dead.
A possibility that whoever might have been originally going to be taken off is now staying on the pitch, and they might have to redo one of the pieces of paperwork.
Yeah, indeed. Certainly Dylan Duffy came off on Monday night, so there's always the potential that was going to happen, but it certainly sets us up for an interesting finish here at the UCD Bowl. Dylan Duffy underneath this.
And of course the students' tails will be up after that equaliser.
Indeed. Keane to Caffrey. Nice ball over the top.
Looking for Kerrigan.
McGinty's done well there, in fairness to him. He was alert. Now, Sligo building from the back. A lot of space here for O'Sullivan in the UCD half. For Keane, excuse me. Ball over the top. Yarrow gets a nice touch and it looks like he's going to keep it in play. He completes the clearance himself, though he's actually kicked it back into his own box, and it's Todd who has to complete the clearance. As far as Caffrey under pressure from Keane. It looked to me to be a foul, but it hasn't been given. Keane taking on Yarrow. And he flicks the ball into the corner, and the man chasing it here is Kirk. Kirk chips the ball. It's a great ball into the box, and it's Todd who has to get the header away there. But it is out as far as Lewis Banks on the right-hand side. Banks has support from Bulger, but he elects to go all the way back to Gary Buckley. And then inside to Niall Morahan. Morahan to Blaney. Blaney under pressure from Keeney. Good spell of possession for Sligo Rovers. Here's Kirk. Gets past Kerrigan. Ball over the top. It's a searching ball. It's a good ball. It's taken by the Sligo man as well, by Fitzgerald, but it is then cleared by Gallagher. And it's going to be a throw in for Sligo Rovers just in front of their own dugout.
Paddy Kirk now with the throw in for Sligo Rovers. It's back to Kirk again. Kirk look back to Blaney. And Kerrigan comes away with it now for UCD. Kerrigan running down the right, looking for options inside, and he was pushed over there by Niall Morahan, a blatant push, and they couldn't ignore this one, and it's a free kick to UCD in a reasonably dangerous position.
Yeah, the three players that were going to be brought on as substitutions are now warming up again. They're just standing in front of us. They might come in, but this is a good chance for UCD. We saw a couple of times in the first half the crosses went straight out over the end line, so hopefully this finds a man in blue, so to speak, in the middle.
Now there's some big guns literally in the size department up. Keeney, one of the taller players, Dignam, one of the taller players, Todd, one of the taller players, and indeed Yarrow, one of the taller players, all up for this particular free kick.
Duffy standing over. What's he going to do? He goes for himself.
Oh, and he wasn't far off.
Yeah, decent effort. I suppose considering the couple of mistakes we saw with free kicks in the first half, I think it was worth it, Declan, but there's going to be substitutions by the looks of things.
Now, you need to keep a close eye on these.
Oh, you don't have a chance because the goal kick even, has been taken quickly by Sligo Rovers.
Now, Sligo Rovers look like they want to make a substitution as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how this is managed in the absence of the fourth official. But there is an FAI official present, and he will supervise the paperwork.
I think Sligo are just making note of those substitutions for UCD. I'm not necessarily convinced that they want to make a change at this moment in time. But here's Caffrey coming through the middle for UCD. He's got a bit of space. Will he go himself? Tries to play it through. The ball deflects out, and it's going to be a corner for UCD on the right hand side. Much better from UCD in the last 5 minutes. Yeah,
the goal seems to have given the confidence boost one would hope it would.
Yeah.
And it's certainly looking like a lot healthier from a student's perspective than it was, say, 5 minutes ago.
Indeed. So we've got Kerrigan and we've got Dignam standing over this corner. It's going to be Dignam who's going to take it. We've seen UCD score off corners a couple of times this season. Todd is definitely a danger man for them with the little bit of height that he has.
But the likes of Caffrey and Duffy now, there's more height in the UCD team than you would have normally.
Dignam breaks for Keeney, but it's going to be another corner for UCD.
Yes.
McGinty thought he'd save that, prevented one from going out, but he hasn't.
And it's another corner, and this time on the other side.
And it's looking like Kerrigan might go out and take this one.
Yes, Kerrigan is shaping up to take this one. So this might be the most prolonged, postponed substitution in history.
Now, the runs come. Can Kerrigan get the ball in? He goes deep. He's got Gallagher at the back post. They've done this a couple of times this season. Gallagher whips the ball in at the back post. Oh, and Ginty does well there. It was Keane who was challenging him, but the goalkeeper always had eyes on the ball, and he got it. He goes for a long one, which is going to be chased down by Banks, but Evan Ozam does really well to get across there and to clear that one out for a throw-in. But a good kick from McGinty, putting UCD under pressure.
Absolutely.
Under the cosh.
So now the assistant referee is going to supervise the use of the board and is going to authorise the paperwork. Dara Keane is coming off. So Kerrigan is off.
Yeah, you had Kerrigan,
Keane and Dignam.
Keane and Dignam, that's exactly it. Those substitutions occurring in the 76th minute of this game.
Now it'll be interesting to see how this changes the shape of the UCD team, if at all.
It seems like Alex Nolan is pushing up front anyway. Excuse me, Thomas Lonergan, I should say. But it's Sligo on the attack. Little ball over the top. Yarrow does well to clear it. It was Donal Higgins that went down here as Sligo looked to attack through Moran. Bolger with the attempted ball through, and it's Dylan Duffy, the guilty party here, the goal scorer for UCD. And it is going to be a free kick for Sligo Rovers, and he's being called over by referee Trevor Cotter.
And it was Banks that was the fouled individual there.
So Dylan Duffy, man with a goal, and man who's been booked as well.
So Dylan Duffy becomes the first member of the Carton Jaune Cycling Club of the day. That is the first booking, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
In fairness, there should have been a lot more bookings in this game.
Yeah, you would certainly think the way it started, you would think there certainly should have been. So the free comes in. It's a good ball at the back post, but it's Keane Moores to mop up. Is he going to go quickly?
No, he's going to play his cards close to his chest and look for the best available option, because now that it's 1-1, where's the fire?
Keane Moore launches it forward. Chasing down here is Lonergan, but it's well headed there by Kirk. Ball cleared up the right. Evan Ozam chasing down, and he gets it to Dylan Duffy out on the left hand side. Recently booked, so he has to be a little bit careful in terms of losing control and flying in with challenges. But here's Evan Ozam. He's got Keeney. Ball out to the side into Gallagher. He's got a little bit of space here. Can he pick out a man in the box? Ball in from Gallagher. Well cleared by Sligo, but he might have a second opportunity here. He settles for the throw-in, which, as we've said, on repeat, haven't been something that UCD have managed too well, but they do it a little bit better this time.
Nolan now. Alex Nolan tries to set the ball inside, blocked by Gary Buckley, and they eventually get the ball clear through Will Fitzgerald. Will Fitzgerald now just into the UCD half, runs into the immovable object that is Donal Higgins, and the ball goes out for a throw. And it's taken very quickly, and it's back with Keane Moore, and he clears his lines. Lonergan now. Now it looks like there's going to be another substitution, this time for Sligo Rovers. Seamus Keogh is about to enter the field of play. We'll tell you who he's replacing in just a tick.
Dylan Duffy, though, passes it back to Evan Ozam. All the way back to Keane Moore, who's got Eric Yarrow. In fact, he leaves the ball for Eric Yarrow. Yarrow calling for the run from Alex Nolan, but it's partially blocked, or in fact it's fully blocked, what I'm talking about, from Blaney. But the ball has broken, a chance here for Nolan, he's in. Oh, he's been absolutely taken out of it by the goalkeeper. Absolutely insane stuff, Schumacher-esque, shocking stuff. I mean, that is just an outrageous tackle. No attempt to play the ball whatsoever. That is, like, that just can't be defended. I'm sorry, that's disgraceful.
That should be a red card.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
That is shocking. And you can see the UC player looks concussed on the ground. Absolutely shambolic goalkeeping there, it must be said.
And it's Thomas Lonergan, the substitute, who's actually down.
Yeah, and you can see Andy Myler and Willie O'Connor, the UC assistant manager, very angry about that. I mean, look, try and play the ball. There was absolutely no attempt to play the ball there, in my humble opinion.
Not at all.
It's looking like treatment is going to be needed here.
Yeah. The stretcher is on. The second stretcher of the day has been brought on. The first one, of course, was used for the referee, and this is the second one of the day.
Yeah, an absolutely shocking piece of play. I'm not really sure what the defence is going to be. You can see the referee discussing it with a couple of players. Greg Bulger, obviously the captain of Sligo. I think Evan Caffrey got involved with some afters because he was so frustrated with the challenge, and he's now having a word with Trevor Cotter.
That was a challenge that would get you severely reprimanded in MMA, never mind rugby or Gaelic.
It looked reminiscent of it. Wasn't it Schumacher, the German goalkeeper, who took out the French attacker?
Yes,
in Euro 80 or Euro, I don't know what the year.
Oh gosh, no, that was a World Cup. That was World Cup at 82.
World Cup
82. Did you ever hear the follow-up to that story? Schumacher went to visit the afflicted in hospital. They became friends, and Schumacher was best man at the French guy's wedding.
Well, that's the beauty of football, I suppose, isn't it? But
yeah, I have a copy of Schumacher's autobiography in English. It's called Blowing the Whistle.
Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere in my library. It's probably in the crates. A lot of unpacked crates in the apartment still, Peter, after all these years.
So the treatment continues. And you can still see that Lonergan is still on the ground. Hasn't quite got up yet.
The goal scorer being removed by Sligo Rovers, interestingly enough.
Yeah, Seamus Keogh, who got the winner for them on Monday night, is in.
Ah, I see what the rationale, do you? Well, you can score the winner on Monday, you can do it again on Friday, can't you then, boy?
So we had a delay here of 3.5, 4 minutes. We also had a delay of 5 minutes when referee David Dunn required treatment. So this could go on into the middle of the night, this game.
Yeah, this game could finish at 1 a.m. yet, you know. Now, the good news is he's not going off on a stretcher.
But he's not staying on.
So Lonergan is now being replaced by Owen Farrell. Thomas Lonergan lasted 7 minutes on the pitch, unfortunately.
And McGinty going over to Lonergan to give his apologies.
Well, it looks like he got away with it.
You can see Lonergan is very clearly concussed, or I shouldn't say concussed, he's shaken. He certainly had the wind knocked out of him.
So Owen Farrell coming in for Lonergan, and Owen is usually a more defensive-minded player, and that he'll probably shore up the midfield a little bit for the remaining minutes of the game. Don't forget, there's probably going to be 10 minutes of additional time at the end of this game. We hope you'll stay with us for it, because it's this might have been the most exciting game in the world, but it's been interesting in many ways, possibly in the Chinese sense of the word. May you live in interesting times.
Farrell's first touch, he gives it to Gallagher. Gallagher back to Keeney. On the right here is Lonergan.
No, it's Nolan.
Nolan, excuse me. Where's Lonergan? Has gone off the pitch now. Ball over the top from Bulger. It's a goal for Keena to chase, but he can't get there. So Yarrow is going to have a throw in for UCD. So Gallagher is going to take this throw in for UCD. Gallagher with the throw. Helped on by Nolan. Caffrey's underneath it. Farrell gets stuck in and Bulger's forced to clear it quickly, and it's going to be cleared quickly even. It's going to be a throw in for UCD, which Gallagher will take again. Flicked on by Nolan. He's got Caffrey underneath it, but it's going to be cleared by a nice little close control there by Buckley.
Buckley was looking for Paddy Kirk there, and the ball's going to play for a throw into Sligo Rovers.
It's going to be Kirk to take it. So as we were saying, we've got 5.5 minutes of normal time, but there's very likely to be 9 or maybe even 10 minutes of additional time at the end of this game. So still 15 minutes, still quarter of an hour for either team to get a winner in this one.
Yes, the Sligo fans who did travel probably won't be home till the wee small hours of the morning.
Yarrow chips the ball over the top. Donal Higgins.
Sends out the left.
He's got Evan Ozam. Dylan Duffy making a run, but Ozam holds on instead. And eventually he gives it to Duffy. It's Fitzgerald who puts the challenge in there, and he's got the ball. And then the tackle on Banks, Duffy tackling him while he was on the ground. And of course, if that happened in the box in the first half, Declan, I'm sure it would have been a penalty for UCD.
Oh, of course it would.
Now, UCD, or Sligo I should say, in possession. Good play through the middle. Here's Keena. Keena chips the ball in. Nice play from Sligo Rovers here. Shot comes in from the edge of the box. Oh, and it needed a save there from the UCD goalkeeper.
Super save from Keenmore.
Lovely play from Sligo Rovers, but Keenmore tips the ball over the bar. The shot coming in from McDonald there on the edge of the box.
And that's the sort of save that makes any young boy who wants to be a goalkeeper want to be a goalkeeper.
Yeah, indeed. It was really good build-up play from Sligo. Nice little close passing, and eventually the effort came in from McDonald, and you could just see it dipping at the last moment, and it was tipped over the bar. But a corner from Sligo, the danger is not passed for UCD, and it's going to be McDonald to take it. It's at the front post. It's a good ball, dangerous ball. It's Bulger on the edge of the box. He leaves it. The shot comes in. It's cleared there from Keeney, who seems to have been injured in clearing that ball. He's gone down. And Keeney doesn't look in great condition, but he's going to play on for the moment. And the ball is headed all the way back there from Paddy Kirk back to his own goalkeeper. I can tell you, Drogheda have equalised out at Dalymount Park. Williams with the equaliser there. Rob Manley has scored a goal for Bray. They're now 3 up on Athlone in the first division. But we'll stick with matters here at the bowl. So it's going to be a throw-in for UCD. Gallagher to take it just in front of our commentary position. Nice ball in. Good play there from UCD. Caffrey tries to play it back there, Nolan, but it's blocked. And it's going to be a throw-in for UCD. Gallagher couldn't prevent that one from going out. So it is going to be a throw-in for Sligo, which Kirk is going to take, again, just in front of our commentary position. Ball over the top. Caffrey putting a little bit of pressure on Buckley there, but Sligo deal with the situation. And it's Evan Ozama's under this. Can he get a header away? He only heads it into Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, as I say, has been a danger all night for Sligo down the right. Chips a lovely little searching ball inside, but Todd is there to mop up. Buckley back to Blaney. Blaney's ball forward. Lovely little play here from Sligo. That's Kirk. It's a great ball towards the back post. And it looks like Fitzgerald might just get there. He does.
Good block by Ozam.
And then Farrell who completes the clearance.
Another substitution now. It looks like Sligo Rovers. The Sligo Rovers official is using the board. And number...
So Will Fitzgerald has been replaced by Killian Heaney, that coming in the 89th minute of this game. And as I say, Will Fitzgerald has been very impressive for Sligo this evening.
Yes, indeed. If you were giving a man of the match award to the opposition, you would have to consider him for that particular honour.
Yeah, very much so. Himself and Greg Bulger have been really, really good. As has, it must be said, Gary Buckley in defence.
Indeed, in defence, he's been super.
So a throw in for Sligo Rovers. As we said, there's a minute of normal time to go here, but there's at least 9 minutes to be added on at the end of this one. That's the first touch for Killian Heaney.
And that will depend on who was timing the referee's injury time.
Well, indeed. Gallagher with a partial clearance as far as Nolan. He takes the touch, gives it back to Gallagher. Gallagher clears it up, which Farrell is chasing. Can Farrell get there? No, it's good defence here, and here comes Bulger for Sligo. Farrell with the attempt. Bulger and Farrell getting to know one another. Farrell, of course, not on the pitch very long. And another yellow card for UCD. It's Alex Nolan. It must have been for something he said, because he wasn't the guilty party in terms of the free kick.
No, indeed.
And he becomes the second UCD player after Dylan Duffy to go into the second referee's book.
Indeed, it seems to be that if you, shall we say, are a bit more vocal, you're more likely to get carded sometimes than if you kick somebody up in the air. And Andy Myler has been yellow carded.
Yellow card. 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay.
Doesn't happen every week, but there you go. 10 minutes of additional time to come here at the UCD Bowl. 1-1 between UCD and Sligo Rovers, so can either side find a winner here?
So 10 minutes of additional time. By the time we all get out of here, by the time the Sligo Rovers fans get home, it will be the wee small hours, I would say. Farrell has been a real firebrand since he came on.
Indeed, he's getting stuck in. Kirk being chased down by Farrell once again. And under pressure he clears as far as Heaney, who keeps it in play, but only as far as Keeney for UCD. On the far side he's got Dylan Duffy, but the ball is just behind him. Can Duffy get out to get there? He can indeed. He's got Banks with him. Gives it back to Evan Ozam. Ozam to Duffy. Duffy takes a little turn back inside. Naturally left-footed, so he has to play it back as far as Todd.
Duffy seems to have moved back into midfield since the removal of Kerrigan from the play.
Ball over the top, and it was Nolan who was coming back from an offside position there, and it means he couldn't go after that one. So it will be a throw for Sligo Rovers to be taken by Paddy Kirk. As things stand, we don't have a result from the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium, but if things were to stay the same, UCD would end the night 4 points behind Finn Harps. Nice touch by McGinty there, under pressure from Caffrey. What can Sligo do here? Can they build from the back? A little bit of space in the middle. Good play from Keogh out to the right hand side. The ball in. Little touch there. He was unlucky there, young Killian Heaney. Didn't quite get the contact he wanted, and the ball goes out for a goal kick for UCD. 90 seconds of the 10 minutes of additional time gone. It's going to be a goal kick for UCD, which Keenmore is going to take.
We might even have time to bring you the final result from Tallaght Stadium.
Yeah, it's not going to be far off. Farrell underneath this ball. Header well won. Gallagher now with the ball. It's done well. Inside to Keeney. Yarrow with one for Caffrey and Dylan Duffy to chase. Dylan Duffy's got a decent bit of pace in him, but Banks has done well. Although Dylan Duffy does really well to come back and win that ball back. He's got Higgins with him, but he goes back to Evan Ozam even, Dylan Duffy now down the left. Space here for Duffy. Ball inside. Finds Caffrey. Ball across. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Nobody there. So Sligo with a chance to clear down the left. And it's getting a bit hectic now. End to end at this late stage in the game. Eric Yarrow. Good play from Keena. Does Yarrow have the legs for him? He does.
Dare I say it, Peter Brannigan? Liam Kerrigan would have been there.
Yeah, very potentially. Kerrigan sitting on the bench just beside us here. But it is Eric Yarrow who's won the free kick for UCD, and it's going to be taken instead by Cian Moore. Just shy of 3 minutes of the additional time played, which means we've just over 7 minutes to go in this one. Moore's ball. Nolan is underneath this, but it's well headed clear there by Blaney. Sligo now in the middle.
Higgins winning the ball back and finds Farrell. Farrell finds Ozam. Ozam to Duffy. Duffy looking for Caffrey, but it goes harmlessly through to McGinty.
At this stage of the game, so late in the night, that's a hard one to chase down. Just a little bit too much on it, as you said, Declan. So it's going to be Sligo to come out here with just in front of us is Kirk. That's not a great pass for his teammate, and UCD win it back. Here's Nolan, ball through the middle. Oh, it's a horrifically bad pass there, and it's gone straight back. There was so much space for that ball through to Caffrey, and that was an opportunity for UCD. Will they pay the price? Sligo come back. Bulger with a little pass through the middle. It's a nice bit of play here from Sligo. Great play. Keena on the edge of the box. Takes the shot, but it is well saved by Keenmore. And you could see just peeling off the left-hand side was McDonald. He was frustrated that he didn't get the pass, but that all came about from poor play up front from UCD and Sligo breaking with a bit of speed. Now Ozam on the left-hand side. He has to go back to his goalkeeper, Keenmore. And Sligo pushing. Keenmore with one for Dylan Duffy to chase, but a lot of distance on that one, and it's going to be a throw-in, which Lewis Banks is going to take. Banks has got Morahan in front of him, but instead he holds off. Evan Ozam does well to win the header. Keeney for UCD, and as far as Alex Nolan, can he amend for the mistake he made a moment ago? He's doing well here, holds the play up well, and gets it back to Gallagher. Gallagher to Keeney. Keeney with a lovely ball out to Dylan Duffy. Duffy with that really high ball in. Farrell is underneath it, but in fact it's gone out of the box. Alex Nolan here. The ball in. Doesn't quite make it to a UCD man. What can Sligo do quickly on the break here? Gallagher does well. Good spell of pressure here for UCD. Keeney to Gallagher. Gallagher chips one over the top for Nolan again. Nolan to Gallagher. Gallagher with the cross, absolutely nobody there, and I can tell you Derry City have equalised against Finn Harps up at the Ryan McBride Brandywell Stadium 2-2. I'm not sure who's got it, but that Cumble coming late. A goal now for UCD would see them coming off the bottom of the table, though I'm not sure the goal difference. It actually wouldn't see them coming off the bottom of the table because of that goal difference, but you would see them ending the night level on points with Finn Harps if they could get a winner.
But just looking at the action, there's another 5 or 6 minutes to play here. 5 minutes anyway. Yeah,
indeed. Ball through. Caffrey looking for Nolan. Good run by Nolan. It's a lovely ball inside. Higgins with the shot, and it's number 26 there, Buckley, who gets in the way for Sligo. That was lovely play from UCD, Declan.
Excellent play from UCD and good defending from Buckley.
Yeah, right place, right time. Lovely little one-touch football. You could see the ball in. Caffrey in to Nolan. Nolan with the back heel into Higgins, and Higgins hit it first time. But we do have a corner which Higgins is going to take out on the far side. We set up some of those big lads, the Yarrows, the Keeneys, the Todds of this world, who could get on the end of a header like here.
And we still have the Caffreys and the Duffys.
Well taken there, in fairness to the goalkeeper. Ed McGinty, if he dropped that, there was a couple of UCD players underneath him there, ready to pounce, but he did well. McGinty sprays it out on the left hand side. This is a chance now for Sligo, isn't it? Now Gallagher is going to get across there, and he plays it inside. Lovely play. UCD finishing this game really, really strongly. Caffrey.
Tails up here, you would say.
Yeah, indeed. Gallagher showing well. Gets the ball back to Keeney. Keeney is under pressure. Good pressure there from Keogh. Todd. It's one for Duffy to chase into the far corner. And he's putting Banks under pressure, is Duffy, but Banks has done really well. And he does what he has to do. Gets a bit of a clearance on that ball. Breaks for Higgins. Evan Ozam. Looking up, not sure what he's going to do. Gave it to Higgins, but Sligo win the ball back. And it's Keenan now at the right hand side. Ball has gone out though, he didn't manage to keep it in.
I was going to say, I don't think the Banks have been under this much pressure since the Troika left.
Yeah, this is it, that was good play. Throw in for UCD, Evan Ozam. I can tell you Declan Hughes is very happy with himself after that one. He's had to pull off the microphone. Evan Ozam now with the throw in for UCD. Ball over the top, Caffrey chasing it down, but it's back with Sligo. McGinty now. Route 1 football, Eric Yarrow and Gallagher underneath this. And it's Gallagher who gets the initial header, but he doesn't really clear it. Can he complete the clearance now?
Surrounded by two Sligo Rovers players and loses out to one of them.
Keena. Good defending there from Todd. Is that a goal kick?
Ball is taken off his toe. And you can see the referee was communicating with his lines person, who said nope, that went behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Heaney took the shot, it blocked, came back.
Well, it's good to see the consultation process taking place. That's why they're all mic'd, and that's what it's for.
Yeah. So we have got about 90 seconds, just slightly more than 90 seconds for either side to get a winner in this game.
Any final scores while we're...
Yeah, we'll run through those in just a moment or two. Here's Nolan.
And Nolan loses possession, and it bounces off Bulger kindly for Dylan Duffy, but it's cleared and is now with Keena.
Space here for Sligo. This is the chance for them to break here at the end.
Paddy Kirk,
great tackle from Farrell.
Fantastic tackle, and that's what he brings to midfield.
Yarrow with the ball over the top to Caffrey. There's 3 or 4 UCD lads. Caffrey inside. It's just unfortunately too much on it for Nolan. Can't Sligo break now? It's absolutely hectic finish this game at the UCD ball. Keeney.
Ozam with a good piece of defending there and finding Keeney.
So one last chance. About 50 seconds to go, I reckon, at this stage. Ball over the top. It's headed clear. long searching ball into the corner. Eric Yarrow. And he's got Heaney for company.
And he's done very well there, the youngster.
Yarrow launches it forward, and it's just a case of ball here.
He spotted McGinty off his line and he had a go, in fairness to him.
McGinty now. 20 seconds to go here. So is this a last late winner for Sligo in this game? Gallagher. Gallagher clears it. Good head forward by Bulger. His opposite number and the opposite captain as well, Keeney, with the clearance. But it's still being knocked forward from Sligo. Keeney. Nolan. Nolan does well to beat the first man.
And the second.
He's got the pace, does he? He does. Great play by Nolan. Brilliant play by Nolan. Oh, he was unlucky there. He did really well.
But the ball ricocheted kindly for Dylan Duffy, who finds Ozam sprinting up the left wing with a cross. And unfortunately, there was nobody at the far post.
Yep, it was a decent play from UCD, but you would have to say that is going to be it, and indeed it is it. Full time here in the SSE Electricity Premier Division, and it is finished. UCD 1, Sligo Rovers